Hello, my name is Obaid Al-Awni. Saudi Wildlife Commission in the Arabian Peninsula. The people's existence never straightened in absence of natural balance between aspects controlling life of all creatures. Although the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia lies within a typical arid to semi-arid region, it is characterized by its unique biological diversity and species that could acclimatize to live under adverse ecological circumstances, including weather and dry conditions. Men had coexisted in Arabia in harmony with his limited renewable natural resources for centuries, and could safeguard it by applying conservative traditional practices, including the HEMA system, which survived for more than 2,000 years. Those HEMAs were deteriorated only during the past century. The Saudi Arabia economic capriole has resulted in changed lifestyles in agricultural, industrial and urbanization practices, and the increased resource demand due to increased human population as well as pollution and other constraints negatively affected resources to an alarming extent. The Saudi Arabia economic capriole has resulted in changed lifestyles in agricultural, industrial and urbanization practices, and the increased resource demand due to increased human population as well as pollution and other constraints negatively affected resources to an alarming extent. That is why the Saudi Wildlife Commission, SWC, was established by the Royal Decree No. 22/M on the 12th of September 1406 with a mandate to prepare and implement plans to sustain terrestrial and marine wildlife and rehabilitate rare and threatened species and their habitats. The ultimate goal of SWC is getting back the natural environmental balance. The SWC site on the web is an open window that affords to our visitors information needs, thus saving time and effort for people, especially those who are not in the vicinity of SWC headquarters. The site will always appreciate your comments and questions through Contact Us.
About us.
The SWC, according to its royal decree of establishment, is required to develop and implement plans to preserve wildlife in its natural ecology and to propose the establishment of proper, protected areas and reserves for wildlife in the kingdom, and to manage such areas in accordance with this mandate. The Commission strives to protect, conserve, and develop the wildlife resources in terms of the laws of Saudi Arabia, and the welfare of its people. Goals of the Commission. The third article of the Commission's bylaws issued by the Royal Decree which established it, states that the Commission shall be mainly concerned with the preservation, protection and development of wildlife, carrying out biological research and applying the results to ensure an ecological balance, including but not limited to encouraging and carrying out scientific research in different fields of life science, especially in wildlife ecology, urging public interest in ecological aspects of wildlife, and to seek proper solutions to problems through meetings, symposia and conferences attended by concerned specialists, carrying out comprehensive surveys of available data and results of research concerning wildlife and natural ecology in Saudi Arabia, gained from materials published in both national and international references. Developing and implementing plans and projects to preserve and maintain wildlife in their natural ecology by establishing protected areas and reserves in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in addition to the execution of orders and regulations regarding such areas and projects, cooperating with different ministries, authorities, national and international institutions and individuals, and acts to be taken in pursuance to the planned purposes of the Center. Islamic teachings maintain that nothing has been created without value and purpose. All creatures are signs of the Creator and glorify Him in unique ways, and all have been given roles by which they contribute to the common good. Hence man in his role as steward on the earth is obliged to conserve them in all their forms. The biological diversity of living natural resources are affected by various types of physical development as elsewhere in the world, This gives rise to considerable pressure on local ecosystems and the variety of species they harbor. However, the kingdom has recognized this threat and is taking appropriate steps to ensure that the natural environment is not overexploited, damaged, or degraded, and is offered the highest possible protection. In this regard, the Commission acts as the custodian over the integrity of the biodiversity of the kingdom. By virtue of its mandate,
Sustainable utilization.
With sensible management, the viability of natural systems can be vitalized and their productivity enhanced as the basis for sustainable development and reinforcing the durability of the national economy. The Saudi Arabia legal system subscribes to the Sharia, which is both a state and religious law, and provides a solid foundation for sustainable development based on the wise use of all natural resources. It stresses the importance of conserving renewable resources and man's responsibility in using them to generate the greatest good over time. Although man has the right to use these resources, he is not permitted to abuse them. He is required to pass them on to future generations in an unimpaired condition. In formulating its conservation policies, the Commission follows the social, economic and ecological wisdom of this philosophy.
Wildlife monitoring and research.
The Commission has developed a very successful captive breeding program for several of its rare and endangered species. It has a national strategy for captive breeding and reintroduction of these species. Successful reintroductions have taken place in several protected areas from a founder population of 54. The Arabian oryx now numbers approximately 350. While the total herd of the three gazelle species is well over 800 individuals. Problems during the early stages of the captive breeding of Hubre have been overcome through a process of artificial insemination and natural breeding. A fertility level of over 80% is being maintained, and advances in the husbandry of the chicks are also paying dividends. During the 1993 season, more than 300 chicks have been successfully raised and many of them were released into protected areas.
Public awareness.
The Commission has launched an aggressive public awareness program in the kingdom with the production of diverse educational materials. It has produced TV documentaries on conservation-related topic. Brochures and posters are also developed on an ongoing basis. A permanent exhibition on the wildlife of the kingdom is housed at the Visitors Center, located at the Commission's headquarters in Riyadh. The Commission has a well-stocked library which also houses more than 200 internal reports on various research projects and its own publications on conservation-related issues. It also maintains a large audio-visual library with copies of video and audio cassettes and photographic slides. Lists of these materials are made available on request to other conservation organizations and agencies.
International cooperation.
Environmental issues and the management strategies required for their resolution transgress political boundaries. The Commission therefore places high importance on international cooperation. The Commission maintains ties with several international conservation agencies and NGOs in seeking solutions to common problems with the IUCN. The Commission has an especially rewarding relationship. It also shares information and experience on an international basis, and with joint ventures strives for the protection of the reliance and sustainability of the global environment.